Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share this video if you found it helpful. Please pass it on if you believe someone else would benefit from it. I would appreciate that. No more are we picking up the tabs for the narcissist. We're just not doing it, especially awakened empath. You know, we catch ourselves before we go back to that same old mentality, whereas we didn't know what we know now. We're not as susceptible as to falling into their gullible traps of capitalizing on our empathy and thereby recklessly, vehemently playing on our emotions. We recognize it sooner rather than later. We actually recognize it in real time as it's happening, and it's a beautiful thing when you can see that. I'm going to give you a case in point that gives me great material for this title. No more are we picking up the tabs for the narcissist. And it's not really a rant, but it actually annoys the hell out of me when I have to tolerate and deal with a narcissist on this level. If you can relate, comment. I screwed up a concrete job here a week or two ago, maybe longer. And when I say I screwed it up, I know concrete, I'm getting into it a lot more this year because obviously it pays good money. And not everybody knows how to do concrete in the way that it's supposed to be done. I called the truck, ordered the concrete, I formed everything up. The form was superb. I have pictures and everything of before and after, before the concrete truck ever came. Just was eager to get this down. That's one of my bigger jobs. It was like 6 yards, I think. So anyway, the point is, I get there, ordered the concrete, the truck's en route to the job site. One thing you never do is never, ever, and this is rule number one. You concrete guys already know this. I'm late to the party. You don't accept or order a truck because you have like a window period, let's say 2-hour window period in the morning of the pour. If your workers are not there on site, you don't take a truck. You pass on that truck. You tell them reroute that truck, let somebody else get that order, because at that point they haven't even loaded that truck. Now that was my mistake. I get there an hour before the pour. My workers didn't show up, and it was left to me and the homeowner to essentially, and the concrete truck driver, to essentially spread this concrete, and it was a living nightmare. But you live and you learn. Fast forward, I've been working on grinding this and that of this concrete sidewalk. It was a sidewalk, and it was had a lot of lumps in it. So we went intentionally with grinders, diamond disc, everything, you know. So the money that I would have made, that's not even an issue right now because there was no more profit to be made, no profit. I took an advance, obviously, in the beginning, but I lost money and time, and my time is most important in this situation. So customer ends up he has this, and rightfully so, you know, customer can rant and vent and do whatever they want if they're not satisfied with a job. I accept that. And I think empath, we accept when we make mistakes and we're wrong. But what we won't tolerate is this insistence of passive aggressiveness. And this is how it looks. It's really not that bad. You know, all we got to do is do this and this and that, you know, and the little light sadistic chuckle that you will hear from a narcissist. This is the passive aggressiveness ramping itself up. They're setting you up to go in on you, and you know this when you're awakened and you're ready for it. And when it comes, you kind of just either go silent or you just stick to 1 or 2 word statements like, you got a good point, let's finish it though, we're past that, let's persist. You know, not to be snide or obnoxious or even rude. You just basically, you have to actually guide these people back on the road, because they're all over the road in their head. They see one thing and one thing only me. They don't see your feelings, your emotions, anything. Matter of fact, your feelings are not even important, and you know this. But more importantly, they will trample on your empathy and your emotions as much as you allow them to. And what you do in these cases is you just either remain silent, you look at them, like I like to say, with a stoic stare. Stoic, not intimidating. You just look at them and you just kind of look off. And I was even reprimanded, or tried to be reprimanded, like, I see you looking side-eye at this, that, and the other when I said what I said. And my response was to this customer, and he's a good friend, I would like to say a buddy, a guy I'd known for years. Now, this is before I woke up to narcissistic personality disorder. I'm now finding out a lot of people that I've known as friends and acquaintances from times past, I've had to recalibrate and redefine them as fair-weathered friends, because they are in fact disordered as well. And unbeknownst to me, it just wasn't my turn to get shafted by these individuals or have their behavior on full display, if you will. And this was one of those instances. So I want to really bring this to you guys' attention. When this happens, it seeks to ruin your whole day, your week, your month. It seeks to just break your whole life down. They seek to try to bring your continence down, your whole spirit. They try to drag it through the mud. And so you have to really just take an admirable position on this and say, you know, I messed up. We're past that. We need to get this finished. I'm over it. I need to get this done so I can move on to other things. And you stand on that. Because what they will try to do is make you seem like you some little child that's being chastised over and over and over again. And it doesn't work on the awakened empath. We don't tolerate it. We don't accept it. We just don't accept it. And furthermore, we know that they're going to go on down the road to start talking bad about us. That's what they do anyway. So what you do, you lightly emphasize, you know, I know that this is a messed up situation, and you're probably going to talk about it for the rest of your life, and that's your right, but I'm past it. And you leave them with that little seed inside of their head, because you don't really have to say this, but you can say this with defiance. You can say this with awakened defiance. You're not picking up what they're putting down. You're not buying what they're selling. No, thank you. No, thank you. And you continue to press on and you live life, because you have to understand when you're awakened, these things will happen. They have happened and they'll keep happening. But how you respond to it is very, very important. And I'm just ready to be done with this situation, this job. But until I'm done with it, I'm not. And there's another aspect of this too. You are forever gauging your healing, your ability to withstand the storm of narcissistic onslaught. You are continually working your muscles, your mental muscles of diffusing situations where narcissists otherwise try to get you bent out of shape. You are really just, you're doing a lot of different things for you, but you're doing one thing for the narcissist. You're dismantling their little house of cards. You're dismantling their false belief, their facade, their egotistical, egocentric stance where they're up here and you're down here. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way today, tomorrow, or forever. Right plan, wrong man. You understanding this, empath and chosen ones, this is going to make your life a lot more fluid, a lot more clear, and a lot less congested when it comes to further endeavors. That being said, bless.